is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy D Dyson. Your Honor, Season 2, Episode 3. And I love the continuation of the story of this season. I love where we're going with it. And it just continues with Michael Desiato as he finds out that Rocco is his grandson. So he's really in perilous times where he's trying to figure out, what does this all mean? You know, a lot of things running through his head. And probably the main one is, how can I protect this little boy? And it threw him in a slump. Like he really was kind of like, I don't know what to do. And even with his mayor friend talking to him about this, you know, he kind of shows up at his house and they really talk, and you know, basically he was like, he didn't tell him he's a snitch, but he's kind of like, you know, it's real tough, all these things that's going on, and you know, the mayor friend's like, yeah, I wish I would have never did any of these things, and kind of like, yeah, it's a coffin for the both of us, that type of thing. So he's kind of like not confessing, not telling them, but at the same time, he's like, he just like, man, you need to really watch yourself, and you know, how can we get out of this? So like I said, that is where I feel like it's going to be a Walter White thing, where he has to outsmart Rosie Perez's assistant USDA from New York, and also outsmart the Baxters. But the factor is the grandson. So that's why I was like, yeah, this is going to get good, because I don't know where he would lean to. And I feel like later on, the Baxters is going to have to lean toward him or with him, in that sense of, you're part of us, so you're going to have to help us, whether you like it or not. And then we fast forward over to Lil Mo going out to Texas to go see Lil Man and seeing how he was doing, and also trying to get that re-up from that connect out there. And when he sees him, kind of like, hey, you know, we really got to do this type of thing. Like, you know, you stay out of trouble, make sure you stay out of trouble. Make sure that nobody knows why you're here, this, you know, that type of thing. So kind of checking up on him, but at the same time scaring him. Like, you know, you better stay hidden, better stay gone, that type of thing. And it goes over to Big Mo, where she's trying to get a hold of this bar, you know, have it open. And the previous bar owner who sold it to her is like, yeah, we have somebody that came in, outbidded you. But I was like telling myself, like, how could you say something like that when you already had signed the deal over and everything? But, you know, it was like, hey, you know, and Big Mo already knew who it was. So that's why she needed that money, which that was like the last of her money to buy that bar. And basically to go get the re-up, that was the last of her money. But he came in with the offers like, you need to pay this by the end of the week. So she was basically like, man, bring that money back, hurry up. So that's pretty much turmoil, and it follows up with Lil Mo getting into it with his cousin as they started fighting, because Lil Mo called him right when it was, you know, he riding around trying to make sure the connect calls and trying to just, you know, do the meetup, and she just like, man, head on home, come back right now, it's an order. And so they end up fighting, going to jail, and Lil Man escapes with the money. So I was like, then you see, you know, and he took his phone, so he got his phone, and then Big Mo's calling, like, and he's kind of like, bruh. And I was like, why don't he just answer it? But I'm forgetting that the fact that she doesn't know that he's still living. So that's why I'm like, man, that's going to be crazy. Then going back over to Michael Desiato when he visits his grandson in the park in Jackson Square in New Orleans, and she's just talking to him about baptism, as she was, because at the same time, they know that the mom or only the brother knew, but I didn't know the mom or the dad knew that she had a baby. And turns out the mom had came, and that's when she was talking about baptism, and she has her atheist ways and her beliefs, and it just pisses her mom off. Like, this episode, you're just seeing that, you know, the mom is really, really going down that descent path of just anger, turmoil, and chaos. Like, and she just wants anarchy. She can't help it. And she's testing everybody, even when it gets to the point where, you know, the Baxters have a meeting with the mayor, and I was, you know, I'm telling myself, the new mayor talking about their plans to expand and their plans for the waterfront property to buy it so they can build. And she's like, oh, I'm coming too. And even in that meeting, she just pushes everybody to the, like she pushes them, trying to scare them. Like, if you don't do this, then, we're going to have to do something to you because you already seen you with Big Mo over there. So she was really like, yeah, stop playing because we about to do something. I'm tired of doing all this stuff. And Jimmy Baxter is kind of like, it's ways of doing this. Like, don't cross me. Don't tell me how to run my business, that type of thing. And she wouldn't stop. So it gets to the point where they get into it in the hotel lobby. He brings her upstairs. He's like, how dare you do this to me? And he starts grabbing her, and it almost turns into like domestic violence and to like passion a little bit. And she just kind of throws another shot at him, and he's kind of like, bruh, if you don't, man, look, you becoming a problem. And if you don't calm down. So that's why I was kind of like, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. I looked at it like I love the banter between Michael Desiato and the brother. Like, when I'm blanking out of his name right now, start to see Carlo. And when he sees Carlo, they kind of see him in their bar. And no, actually, he when Carlo kind of stumbles upon, he's like, why is Michael Desiato out? He's like, man, I didn't know you was out, type of thing, in that Jackson Square. And it made me laugh when he was like, you ever heard Mad Hook, from Gangster from Chicago? Yeah, you should look him up, that type of thing. You remind me a lot of him. And I was like, fast forward when Carlo talks to Jimmy Baxter, just looking at surveillance and stuff in the hotel. He was like, yeah, you ever heard of this? And he was like, no. And kind of going into the double jeopardy versus acquittal. And that's what he kind of researched. He was like, who told you that? And he was like, he's right there. Michael Desiato's just in their bar just drinking. So Jimmy Baxter was like, get out of my hotel. Like, I don't want to see you. And they kind of had this banter of, if things were different, this is how it would have went. But of course, Jimmy Baxter was like, no, if you kind of told him something different, but we got real intentions of what Jimmy Baxter would have done if he would have found out if Adam did it, at the police station. So I was telling myself, I like how this ended because it's building up for more and further in the story, further in the season, because at this point, I feel like somebody's going to have to make a choice. And I know Michael Desiato is going to have a choice of saving the Baxters or saving his friend or trying to save both because of Baby Rocco and his best friend. So, but I really feel like he's going to set up the mayor some kind of way just to be like, man, get you out of my hair, and then we're going to go after Jimmy Baxter. If not, Jimmy Baxter may end up killing the mayor, and that's when Michael Desiato just goes off and was like, we're going to do everything. I'm going to do everything I can to bring you down. That's why I'm here for this. That's just my speculation, but I'm loving this. I'm loving this. So, you guys enjoyed my review of Your Honor Season 2, Episode 3. Subscribe to my channel. Post a comment down below and like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.